I'm Charlie, and I'm the founder of Zone app.
I'm Laura, and I'm marketing manager at Zone.
So we would like to show you how Zone works. Now, we were going to show you the actual whole sign-in process, but for some reason, it hasn't brought that up for us, so never mind. So when you join up with Zone, so firstly, obviously, what the hell is Zone? Okay, so Zone app is a social networking app for groups of friends to be able to spontaneously meet other groups of people who are out socializing nearby right now. So it's all about the spontaneity. There are lots of apps out there at the moment where you can go on a date or meet up with friends, whatever. There's nothing really that does what we do. So to not pitch, Charlie, the tech-wise, very simply, when you join up to Zone, you will add your mobile phone number. So the reason we've chosen to do this instead of go through Facebook or any of the other social media platforms is because actually market research showed that a lot of the youngsters these days aren't actually using Facebook anymore. Shock horror. So everybody has a mobile, so we figured that was the easiest way to do it. No other users will be able to see your mobile number, so there's the privacy there. So once you've signed in, you'll create a very quick, speedy profile. We're not trying to spend too much time with lengthy profiles. We just want it to be a meet up quickly type app. So you've got a couple of photos. You can add photos to your profile if you like. You just pop down that you're female, your name, and your age. You can write a little description about yourself if you wish, and obviously up here, you're able to edit it. Obviously, we need a UX guy. That's going to be one of my questions later. But for the time being, for the MVP. So if we give you a little scenario, so for example, Laura and I popped to the pub together, and it was brilliant last week, and it was buzzing, full of people, and we get there this week, and we're like, what on earth's happened? There's no good-looking guys, no one's doing Jaeger bombs at the bar, this is a disaster. So instead of pub crawling, or chasing the party, as I call it, we'd like to bring the party to us. So Laura and I, who are sat next to each other with our vodka tonic or whatever, create a group by pressing this button here. We've made it as simple as possible because everybody was saying this was very important. So if we call it Girls in the Pub. Original, no points for banter. Okay, and then we can either take a photo, a selfie, which we're going to do now, just embarrass ourselves, why not? Okay. Probably not going to pull the boys with that one, but never mind. So just to show you how it works. Then if we want to write a group description, we can, but this is optional because we figured that a lot of people will be quite pissed, when they're using it. And so, you know, it'll be like, blah, meet us, blah. No one will understand what it means, but still, it's there if you want to. So I then need to add Laura to my group. So I click on here, and Laura will at some point become my Zone friend. But at the moment she isn't, so I'll be able to show you both options. So if we swipe along through my Laura's, Laura Goodson's here, so I can invite her, create group. So now Laura will be sent a notification to say Charlie's invited you to join her group. So that process does take a lot less time than that, just so that you realise it's actually very simple to use. So once Laura and I have our group, Girls in the Pub, we then start to search. So at the bottom here, you'll see that you can choose male group, female group, or a mixed group, depending on who you want to meet. So Laura and I are on the poll. So we choose boys. So we can swipe through, and there's this charming group of lads here called Crystal Phallus. And because they're so hilarious, we think, what a great idea. So we click on their group. We can zoom in on their group profile. We're also able to see that Teddy is the pack leader. Now, in case you haven't noticed, we have a wolf as our brand logo. So it's all about being out in your wolf pack, meeting up with other wolf packs. You've got your pack leader who's in charge. You're hunting, you're prowling your territory. It's all a bit naughty and fun and cheeky. So you'd be able to check out Teddy's profile picture, which is slightly awkward. He's got a child. Okay, never mind. But, you know, pretend he doesn't. And if this was working properly, Teddy would have added his 3 lad friends, his fellow wolves, to this group, and they would display just down here. And you'd be able to click on each individual profile too, so you can have a really good stalk and make sure that there's one for everyone in the group. So we press match because we think they look like really funny guys. And they will be sent a notification, and then they can choose whether or not to match with us back. So obviously they will, because our selfie is so hot. So they see this, and obviously they're going to press match. And then the pack leader, who's me in this instance, and the wolf pack leader of Teddy's team, Teddy, will now be able to message, and we can instant message each other. After 10 messages on each side, there will be a pop-up that says, stop messaging, start meeting, because the whole USP and point of this app is not to spend hours with text banter and trying to be cool and witty and spending days planning a meetup. It's match with people that you like the look of and meet them now. So the tech is the magic wand just to get those people to come where you are, but then it's a spontaneous, old school way of meeting people just as you would at the bar. So that's basically it in a nutshell. Obviously, we can just show you here that we've got all the usual. You can go to your profile and edit it. You can invite friends to join, which is synced to your phone contacts. So if I was looking for Sarah, for example, then I've got all my Sarahs there, and I can invite whichever one. I think let's invite Sarah Hearn, and then it'll show you that she's been invited. She'll then get a notification to download the app. Once she downloads the app, she becomes my zone friend. So when I'm creating new groups, she will be there for me to add more easily. Now, very importantly, quickly about the creating groups. If you look at my groups here, I actually have a number of different groups that I've created. So I was out with Kate. This is my friend Kate. I was out with her yesterday. So if tomorrow night I decide to go out with Kate again, instead of having to remake our group, I tap the group and I say reactivate. So now Kate and I's group's activated. So you don't have to keep me. You've got your core groups of mates who you go out with. You wouldn't want to have to redo it every time. So that's why that's there. All your matches will appear here. Oh dear, I'm a loner. I don't have any. But when I do have group matches, they pop up here and I can swipe through them and contact them via messages. And of course, as I said before, the group's near you. So you can swipe through and see all the different groups. So that's basically it. Oh, sorry, revenue streams. Yes, we are planning on making some money at some point. So first year, we're focusing on user acquisition, obviously, and then we will be introducing a live news feed on the app, which will be for venues, bars, pubs, whatever, to be able to promote to the groups of people. There is nothing more appealing to venues than being able to actually find out where groups of friends are in the walking distance of your venue who are out drinking right now. That is the best time to say, hey, we've got a 2-for-1. Not on a Tuesday afternoon when I'm at work. Come to Bougie's on Thursday. If it popped up at 11:15 and I was sort of thinking, what should we do now with my new wolf packs that I've met and, you know, everyone's getting on and snogging and things, then I'd probably consider going to Bougie's. So this is a fantastic opportunity for the venues. I used to run my own events business, so I was a glorified event promoter, and I would have events where I had a few tickets to flog at the last minute, but I wouldn't want to actually sell them to any old people. I would want to be able to see what they look like, which is so shallow. Please don't judge me. But with this, if event promoters are able to see the group photos and the individuals of each group when they apply for their event, they'd be much more inclined to want to sell last minute tickets and vice versa. So that's it in a nutshell, really.
Time-wise as well.
Oh, great.
Did you want to ask for specific feedback questions?
Well, one thing we'd really, really like is to know if anybody has any fabby UX people that don't cost a fortune, because the user experience at the moment is pretty shocking. So we're hoping that people will use the app because it does get Group A to meet Group B, which is what we've promised we're going to deliver. But obviously, we'd like it to be a much slicker experience, I think.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Oh, great.
Oh, thank you. Excellent. Sorry, I thought she was going to say something scary that I was going to have to think of an answer to.
Who wants to ask a question or feedback? Over here.
Do you have any way of providing feedback on a group of people with whom you spend some time? So let's say these guys are total losers. I don't want to ever see them again. And if it's linked to, I don't know, whatever, Facebook profile, I mean, the usual stuff for, same thing for BlaBlaCar or whatever.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, you're two really nice persons and you have like 17 crazy groups and 2 that are nice. How do you sort out?
So that's a very, very good point. So you can imagine my temptation to add a million features to this app because there's so many things that I could do with it. And I've been told by everybody, please, Charlie, just keep it simple. This is a minimal viable product. It just needs to do A plus B equals C. But the rating system, because of the wolf pack theme that we've got going on, we're only allowing positive feedback. So I think you could have a group of lads meet a group of girls and they don't fancy them, so the group of girls pretend to go to the loo and don't come back, and the boys are in a huff and they go 1 wolf head or 1 star, and we want to avoid that happening. So people can only give a positive. If someone gives a 5-star, that group will have a blue wolf's head added to their profile so people can collect them. So this is a way we're also going to incentivize people to invite their friends to join Zone as well. If you invite 10 friends who all download the app, you'll get a wolf's head, so people won't know. Is that because they're super cool on a night out, or is it because they invited a load of mates? But, you know, it's quite incentivizing, we think, so that's what we're going with there.
Hey,
Hi.
I was listening to your presentation. It reminded me of another app that I heard about a year ago, actually called Wolfpack.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you've heard of it, but
No.
it's quite similar, even with the logo. I just don't know if you've heard of it yet or not.
No, we have been told, though, that there was a film, what's that film in Las Vegas? The Hangover. Yeah, I actually genuinely didn't know that, but I was like, excellent, we'll get off the back of that marketing. No, I haven't, but was that a year ago?
It looks very similar. I heard about this one about a year ago. It does sort of the same thing, from what I can gather. I just didn't know if you're aware of it.
I don't have it on my phone yet, so it can't be that fabulous.
Okay,
so
well,
we're just going to have to beat.
I guess
the
then I would
punch.
recommend downloading it and having a look and seeing
Yeah, no, we
if it's
definitely
similar
will,
or not.
of course.
Because if it is very similar, then obviously they've been around for about a year at least already, and it's going to be tricky for you
Is that an American-based company?
I don't know, actually. I don't think it says, but yeah, it's worth a shot. Wolfpackapp.co is the
Okay,
thing,
that's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there, obviously, that are trying to bring groups of people with groups of people. But we believe the real USP here, well, you've obviously got to be the lead player, so we've got lots of cheeky ways we're going to get ourselves in there. But, you know, spontaneous, it's all about the spontaneous. A lot of these group meetup apps, you have to book, you have to plan things in advance. So tedious, I don't know who has time for it. I copy and paste messages on Tinder because I haven't got time. So I'm literally like, send it to all 15 people. So I think with this, it's just stop messaging and get meeting. Back to the old school way of meeting people. It was much better. We're a bunch of walking profiles now. None of us have any character anymore.
Anyone else got a question or feedback? There you go, Claude.
I would say that probably the biggest thing, again, comes down to validation, that people want this and what your channels are and what people respond to best. You've got a functional app. I'd say it could be, if people like using it and it works, that's what will make it spread and go viral. But I'd probably say you need to find a way of how to get this in front of loads of people and see, do they want this, and what one marketing message or image or proposition makes most people convert. So it's probably down to customer development and user testing.
Agreed,
What
yeah.
are you doing at the moment around that?
We're using a number of brand ambassadors that have actually been like hand-picked. So we're picking like we're going into 10 different universities across the UK, but we're really trying to focus on 3. And we've got teams of brand ambassadors at each that are actually going a lot more down the word of mouth route than anything else. We're kind of keeping it a bit exclusive initially and being like, we're trying out this thing, we're picking you because you really suit the target audience, you know, wink, wink, flattery, flattery. And then obviously it has an element of potential viral organic growth, because you have to invite at least one friend in order to be able to use Zone. So if every person you sort of get excited by the idea, they're going to invite at least one friend. But the most important thing, as you said, is that their first experience of using the app with their group of friends is a good one. If it isn't, if they just download it, that's no use to us. Downloads don't really mean anything. We need people to download it, create a group. So our brand ambassadors have been trained to actually show people, this is how you do it, this is how you create a group, match with us first, so that's that sort of little sort of camaraderie. And the smaller universities like St Andrews are the ones that we think it will really fly in initially. Also doing a parallel London pilot. So it's all mad. But yes, we're using people, basically, more than advertising.
Brand ambassadors is the best way to go through this.
Oh, thank you. Good. Phew.
Anyone else? Is that everyone?
One
Okay, well,
down.
as I said, did you put your hand? Oh, at the back. Sorry, I need my binoculars. Or / new glasses.
Simon Cowell at the back there. I'm a bit
Hi,
scared.
I'm just wondering whether the app's gender balanced, in that you have user interaction mechanics that work just as well for men as for women, because typically men tend to spend more time and effort chasing girls
You
than
say
the other way
this.
around, right? No, I understand that's not strictly always the case, but I mean, if you look, for example, at an example of Datch, right, the lesbian dating app that then pivoted and became Her,
Yeah.
they had a problem presenting themselves as a dating app, and then they pivoted and they present themselves more as a social network for lesbians, because their interaction mechanic didn't really chime with their user base. So I'm interested to understand whether the way that girls use it will be comfortable for the way that women want to use that kind of app. I can completely imagine blokes sitting around a pub scanning through the app trying to find chicks that they want to hit on. That's not difficult to imagine. I don't know why I'd know such a thing, but but I'm less sure that women want to do that.
Okay, so one of the first things I would say is you would be very surprised. So I created this app for myself because I kept banging on about it that, to be honest, it's not a dating app, it's a group socials app. So I'm actually quite adamant about that. If people want to use it for dating, that's great, but what we're saying is it's group meetups, but it's just going to be more appealing to singles. But for girls, groups of my friends, for example, numbers of groups of us, we go out and it's more about the atmosphere, to be honest. I mean, even if we don't actually end up interacting with that group of lads, or we don't end up fancying them, it's more being in the place with them, with the atmosphere and the vibe and chatting to people and having that banter. I think also your point about sort of security and feeling comfortable. Girls, when they're with their mates, feel so much more comfortable and it does become quite cheeky banter. This is very flexible as well, so you can invite as many different groups to join your venue as you like. So you could have a number of groups of lads and there's no pressure to sit and have a date-like situation with anybody. So I think actually it's more about the banter.
Kevin's told me it's time up. Is it a quick question? Is he sure?
Whether or not the answer will be quick. No, I promise.
What it is there's so many groups, and each of these groups are going to want their own thing. So there might be some girls going out for tea who want to have a tea group, and then there'll be lads who are going out for the bachelor party, right?
I love the stereotyping.
How do you keep things separate?
Okay, well, down the line, we also want to introduce hashtags. So if there's something you're specifically interested to do at the moment, you just pop it in your group description. So as I said there, looking for guys that want to do Jaeger bombs or whatever it might be, looking for a pool partner or mixed doubles tennis or whatever brunch. But I want to make it actually more techie down the line and actually have hashtags where the people that have got matching hashtags to you will come up first. So if another group have also put Jaeger bomb o'clock or have also put pool or live music, then those people will appear first. You have something in common, as it were. But that's for down the line, because as I said, trying very hard to stay focused at the moment. But yeah, it's a fantastic idea. People love all that stuff.
Ladies, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.